You know what's wild? Green Lantern is one of the most powerful superheroes in the entire DC universe. But on screen, the character's basically become a punchline. Ryan Reynolds couldn't save it. Zack Snyder couldn't save it. The box office killed it. The critics buried it. And honestly, audiences moved on. But here's the thing. James Gunn's about to change that. The Lantern show coming to HBO isn't just another superhero project. It's a reset. A full rethinking of what Green Lantern can be. And I'm genuinely convinced this might be the smartest move DC's made in years. Here's why. Look, we've all seen DC stumble, multiple times. But Lanterns is positioned differently, way differently. This isn't a big-budget blockbuster trapped in Hollywood's three-act formula. It's HBO prestige television, which means different rules, different expectations, different opportunities. In the next 10 minutes, I'm breaking down exactly why Lanterns has a real shot at redemption. These aren't guarantees, but they're reasons to actually believe. So stick with me, because number 1 is going to blow your mind. Number 10. HBO format removes the theatrical pressure. Let's start with the most obvious one. HBO is not a movie studio. That changes everything. The 2011 Green Lantern failed partly because it was trapped in a theatrical film's constraints. Ryan Reynolds was trying to carry a $200 million movie. There's pressure in that. Box office expectations, opening weekend requirements, the need to appeal to absolutely everyone on day one. HBO doesn't work that way. Prestige television is built for deep storytelling. You get 10 episodes. You can breathe. You can take risks knowing you've got time to earn them. Look at True Detective or Mayor of Kingstown, shows that took their time and built devoted audiences. That's the environment Lanterns is operating in. No opening weekend pressure. No need to make back $200 million on Friday night. Just time to tell a story properly. Number 9. The noir detective angle changes everything. Here's what's interesting. The Lantern show isn't just space cops with rings. James Gunn's positioning this as a noir mystery. Think detective series with a superhero twist, not a superhero series that happens to have detectives. That's brilliant. Because here's what people forget about Green Lantern. The character works better in mysteries and interpersonal conflict than in cosmic action sequences. Give me Jon Stewart investigating corruption over watching him punch aliens in space. The show's leaning into that, and that's where it gets interesting. Noir has an audience. Prestige audiences like detective stories. This isn't Green Lantern but on HBO. It's noir mystery with Green Lanterns in it. That's a totally different pitch, and it sidesteps all the space opera baggage from 2011. Number 8. James Gunn proved he can rescue dead franchises. People forget this, but James Gunn basically saved the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise when it was on life support. He took an obscure Marvel property nobody cared about and made it iconic. He did it again with the Suicide Squad. Took a terrible 2016 film and proved it could actually work. Gunn has the track record. He knows how to make prestige superhero content. He understands tone. He balances comedy and drama without undermining stakes. He doesn't treat source material as gospel. He respects it while making bold, creative choices. If anyone's going to unbury Green Lantern, it's someone who's already done it twice. That matters. This isn't some studio executive guessing. It's a proven director with leverage to do things his way. Number 7. Superman's success creates built-in momentum. David Corenswet's Superman crushed it. The new DCU film is performing, audiences are invested, and there's actual momentum behind James Gunn's vision. That matters for a show like Lanterns. The Superman movie proved Gunn's approach to the DCU works. It proved audiences will follow him. It proved his tone, serious but not grim, character-driven, actually funny, resonates. Lanterns gets to ride that wave. Audiences are already thinking about the new DCU. They're curious, they're engaged. That's the opposite of 2011, when Green Lantern arrived out of nowhere into a superhero landscape that wasn't ready for it. Lanterns arrives into momentum, into trust, into genuine curiosity. Number 6. The Green Lantern Corps angle, not just Hal Jordan. The 2011 film made a mistake. It was all about Hal Jordan as a fish-out-of-water character. The story revolved around one guy discovering his powers and feeling sorry for himself. Boring. But the Lanterns show is reportedly building toward the Green Lantern Corps. Multiple lanterns, multiple perspectives, a whole universe of characters. That's where Green Lantern gets interesting. You've got John Stewart, the disciplined military leader. Guy Gardner, the hot-headed fighter. Kyle Rayner, the artist. Each one brings something different. When you've got an ensemble, you've got conflict. You've got debate. You've got complexity. That's television gold. That's how you build a prestige show. Multiple viewpoints, competing philosophies, actual stakes between characters. Number 5. MCU lessons applied to DC. Marvel spent years building the MCU. They learned what works. Character development first, action second. Commitment to continuity. Slow burns that pay off. Using television to build depth. DC watched that. They learned from their mistakes. Lanterns is the first major show that feels like DC saying, okay, we're doing this right. It's a prestige project designed for character work, not just spectacle. That's the MCU lesson finally landing at DC. You can see it in how the show's being marketed, how it's being structured, the creative team assembled. DC's learning. Slowly. But Lanterns feels like the moment where it actually clicks. Number 4. Prestige TV actors want prestige roles. And this matters. Prestige television attracts serious actors. When you announce a show on HBO with James Gunn directing, you're not just making a superhero show anymore. You're making prestige content. That's a different pitch. Aaron Paul is in Lanterns. That's not random. Aaron Paul chose to be in this because it's prestige television, because it's James Gunn, because it's character-driven storytelling. You don't get that actor in a typical superhero show. But prestige content? That changes the casting pool. That means better performances, deeper character work, actors who understand subtlety and nuance. That elevates everything. Number 3. The multiverse isn't bogging it down. Here's something crucial. The Lanterns show isn't buried in multiverse confusion. The 2011 film suffered from its own mythology being incomprehensible. Audiences couldn't follow it. Too many rules, too much cosmic nonsense. Lanterns is starting fresh in the new DCU, but it's grounded. It's a detective show first, Cosmos second. You don't need to know complicated Green Lantern lore to watch a noir mystery. You don't need to understand the power ring mechanics to care about John Stewart investigating a murder. That's smart. That's how you make it accessible. You strip away the baggage and focus on story. That's how prestige television works. Number 2. The power ring mythology actually works on TV. Here's what people miss. The power ring is one of the coolest superhero concepts ever. It's just been executed terribly. But on television, with a proper budget and creative control, the visuals could be stunning. Imagine John Stewart creating weapons with his willpower. Imagine the visual metaphor of imagination becoming reality. That's not something you need a $300 million blockbuster budget to pull off. HBO's visual effects, applied to a prestige series, could make that genuinely remarkable. Green Lantern's power isn't the problem. The execution was. This show gets execution right. Number 1. DC finally has a winner, and it knows it. And here's the real one. The Lanterns show is positioned as the flagship prestige project for the new DCU television side. James Gunn is treating this like it matters. Like it's the proof of concept for what DC television can be. That means resources. That means protection from studio interference. That means creative control. When a network believes in a show, when a director has leverage, when there's genuine momentum behind it, that's when prestige television happens. Lanterns isn't an experiment. It's not a test. It's James Gunn's statement. Watch what we can do when we do this right. That kind of confidence, backed by track record and resources, actually translates to screen. The 2011 Green Lantern felt like a desperate attempt to catch Avengers lightning in a bottle. This show feels like a director and a network saying, "We know what we're doing." That's the difference. That's why this works. Look, will Lanterns be perfect? No. Prestige television fails all the time. But here's what matters. It has a real shot. It's built on lessons learned, not repetition. It's positioned in the right format, with the right creator, at the right moment. Green Lanterns had 2 shots already. This is the 3rd. And this time, DC actually seems to understand what it's doing. What do you think? Are you hyped for Lanterns, or are you skeptical? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more deep dives on DC's future, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.